Hi, good morning. It's not really morning, but hello. Welcome to the stream. All right. We're back with more programming today. I did say I was hoping I would get to program more. We get to program more. Woo! Fun. Chapter 4 monsters over here. All right. Let me just set up the alert real quick and then we'll go. But yes, hello everybody. Welcome to another programming stream. Another day of programming. Hey. All right. Yeah, I've been feeling an itch to stream and code lately, so we're back at it. Last time we fixed a couple things. We found out that we had some kind of like window resizing test code, which wasn't even supposed to be in there and ended up in there. God, eye roll. Committing test code to the master branch. And then we also figured out how to implement a haste buff. We kind of fixed it for the monster implementation because for monsters, they didn't quite do it right. And then we have unit tests. So we're writing a couple more unit tests to make sure this doesn't break anymore. And then we'll go from there. So we're going to open up player tests.cpp. Oh, also, I updated Visual Studio. I'm still using 2022, so I'm not on like the newest version, but I am on the latest patch or update for Visual Studio 2022, which should be fine. Like, I don't really want to upgrade to 2026 because if I upgrade to 2026, then we have to figure out what's compatible, what's not compatible. I use a lot of the IDE's features, and so to lose them right now would not be a great idea. Also, I want to open up real quick. I want to listen to the Rabbi Ribby Orchestra soundtrack today for background music. So I'm going to do that. And the reason why I'm in here is because I don't know where the location of all the game's files are. So, where do I go? Am I dumb? Where's the... Oh, it's not installed. Okay. Well, that explains things, why I couldn't find it. Because before I started stream, I wanted to open it in my Steam files, but I couldn't find my Steam files. I'm like, where is it? It's not even downloaded. So we wait. I just want to run it in the background. That's all. Like to have a little just chill music. And the orchestra music is very nice. So I really like it. But yes, welcome to the stream. We're not gonna be doing too much coding today, but a little bit of coding is nice, especially since lately we haven't been able to code. So this is very nice. Oh, it's under manage. That's what it is. Okay. So I think I go under pack media. No. Is it? If I go view it, it'll tell me. Wait a second. I wonder. Hold on. I think I know what I did. Here we go, chat. I figured it out. I actually have a physical CD. I got a physical version of it, and that's how I have it. I totally forgot. So I have a CD player I can plug into my computer and actually play this, which is insane, but... Alright, let me see. I think I only unplugged a wireless receiver for my headset, which I'm not using right now, so it'll be okay. Alright, CD player. You know, I tried finding some blank CD-ROMs to write files to, and I couldn't find them. That's wild. Kind of hard to come by now. So I just had to play this, right? It should just work. Windows Media Player. Can I play it through VLC? I'd rather do it through VLC. Yes. Play. What? Hello? I guess. There we go, though. Yay. I'll probably leave it like that. That's fine. That's nice. Okay. Sorry about that. So, we're working on some unit tests. We made one to test player moving. So when the player moves, with the haste buff, they should move faster in the same amount of time. I am just going to copy-paste it because I think some of the code will remain the same. We also found out how to load in a map, just a single map, instead of all the map files in the game, because that would take a lot of time and it would be a lot of loading. So for a unit test, we don't need to do that. We just need to load one single level. So we figured out how to make that work, digging through some code for that. So this is the player haste cooldown check. we're gonna check the cooldowns of at least one of our abilities to make sure it is going down faster than normal. That's one of the requirements of the haste buff. So we have to make the player use an ability, and then we're going to see what the cooldown is after half a second passes. So we'll do cast ability at location. Cast ability, let's do ability 1. It doesn't really matter where it's aimed at. I don't even think it has a cast time, but now that I think about it, the ability takes a moment to go off, so it's not like it's instantly the cooldown's gonna instantly go down. Maybe if I use ability 3, for Ranger, the third ability fires off immediately, so that's more reliable for testing something like this. So after we cast the ability, it should be on cooldown, so we'll just measure the cooldown. Well, actually no, we just update the game for half a second. Also, I found out I can, instead of doing this, I can save one line of code if I do add buff to player, which I made specifically as a shortcut to doing these 2 lines right here. Same arguments required. Does the exact same thing, just removes that extra update for 0 seconds line, and we're good to go. So we're gonna update for half a second, and then we're gonna check the cooldown of the ability, the cooldown time remaining. So let's look up multi-shot real quick. Alright, multi-shot typically has a cooldown of 25 seconds. So we expect that if we wait for 5 seconds, the cooldown of the ability should be 20 when we test it. The remaining cooldown should be 20. So we're gonna see if 20 is equal to, we're gonna look at the cooldown. I don't know if this is the total cooldown time or the current cooldown time. It's not specified. Let me see. Okay, I should probably rename this ability so I don't get confused. Well, I guess if I made a function called get remaining cooldown, then I probably would get less confused. Multi-shot. Oh wait, we're waiting half a second. Let's wait 5 seconds. So multi-shot should have 20 seconds remaining on its cooldown time. Now what if we adjust the cooldown time of multi-shot in the future? I feel like the test should just test it based on the max cooldown time minus 5 seconds, not necessarily 20 seconds. We have 5 seconds less or removed from its cooldown time. Let's do that instead, because I have a feeling if we do any rebalancing, we don't want to test 20, we want to test max cooldown time minus 5. Get cooldown time minus 5 seconds. Okay, and then what we're going to do is reset all the cooldowns of the player. I think that's just, I think there's a way to just reset. I think I've used it before too. Let's see. Or you could reset the game. We could also just reset the player instance with the new player. Would it be ideal? I think it would be ideal. Initialize player. Okay, yeah, that makes a new player. Oh, this isn't even a ranger. This is a warrior by default. What do warriors have? Okay, warrior's ability 3 is the Sonic Slash, which does come out immediately as well. The code still works. It's just not multi-shot, which is what I was thinking in my head because I used the ranger for a test a lot. But let's say Sonic Slash. Okay, but if we call initialize player again, that will reset the player, which is what we want. Okay, and then all the cooldowns will be reset, and we're going to this time give the player a buff. We're going to give it the haste buff, kind of like we did up here. We'll give it a 30% haste buff, and we'll expect now the cooldown time goes down 30% quicker. So if we wait for 5 seconds, the cooldown time should be reduced by 6.5 seconds. Instead of 5 seconds. So we'll go ahead and cast the ability again. We will apply the hasten buff. We will update for 5 seconds. And now we expect the cooldown time to be the max cooldown time minus 6.5. So Sonic Slash should have 6.5 seconds removed from its cooldown time. Let's rebuild for the testing suite to detect our new test. I hope everybody's day is going well. Alright, so we're gonna run this test. The hope is that it passes, of course. Looks like it failed. Assert failed. Sonic Slash should have 5 seconds removed from its cooldown time. Expected 7, but the actual time was 0. What do you mean expected 7? That's not Sonic Slash. What is this? Ability 3. Oh, I typed ability 1 for the test. That's funny. Oops. Okay, redo. I just put ability 3 on the actual test ability, but then we were testing for ability 1, which doesn't make any sense. And this time there's an unhandled exception to update animation. That's kind of weird. It doesn't have the animations. Do I have to reinitialize the animations after player? I think that's what happened here. Because the player doesn't start with animations, I don't think. So, let's see. Yeah, you have to set up player animations again if you do this. So maybe what we'll do is make a helper class for that. Hi, Adrian. Welcome. We're not ITGing today, as you can tell. Yeah, so we have to set up the player animations again, probably because the player loses them when they're initialized. I almost want to say they should be... Set up player animations should be in initialized player. That's what I'm starting to think. Like, why are they separate? Other than just because. If animations get initialized before the player does, and set up player animations down here, why can't we just do this when we initialize a player, since it depends on it? That to me makes more sense. And then I can get rid of all these. At least that's the hope. Let me open up my other test files, because I probably did the exact same thing. Remove that one. Let's just look for all. An entire project. So we got that one, which we just made. We're gonna delete it. We got one in enchant tests. We delete that one. We got one in engine tests. I'm probably just gonna move this. Actually, would it make sense to put it here? I guess so. Cool. I actually like that more. We'll just leave it like that. We're adding 2 pluses to C. You never liked C++? Well, it's my favorite programming language, so suck it. Item tests... No, but C++ is very difficult to use. A lot of people don't use it for that reason. It's understandable. Compared to something like Python, JavaScript, those languages are a lot more popular, probably because they are easier to use as well. So, that's nice. Did I delete the actual one I needed? Oh wait, that one's still there. Oh, I was looking at current project. There might be more in the entire solution. Let's have a look. Your teacher made you hate computer programming? Aww, that's unfortunate. I feel like if you don't find your own motivations to do computer programming, it's usually hated. I think that's very fair because it's a very creative process. So if you don't like it, you'll really not like it. And if you don't have a good teacher for it, then that just makes it worse, because then you don't have somebody that can show you all the cool things about it. Ooh, are we gonna crash again? So yesterday, Visual Studio crashed every once in a while I was using this test suite, and I'm like, okay, maybe if I update it, Visual Studio stop happening, but it still happens. Oh, it didn't crash! Whoa. Okay, we're just building. Okay. It didn't crash, thankfully. Teacher called us stupid and made us learn on our own. That's rude. Rude. But no, I just love computer programming because I originally wanted to make games with it. I thought, after playing like NES, SNES, the Game Boy, I'm like, I really want to make games. I think it'd be cool. I didn't know how to, so I ended up looking it up online and finding a program called Game Maker, and the rest was history. That's how I started learning and enjoying the process of programming. Pretty much self-taught, so yeah. Well, now we have an exception code. That's weird. That's very weird. Okay, I'm a little worried. Oh, you know what? It's the same problem. I have to change this to... Wait, no. Shoot. Yeah, that's not good. Let's... I assume there's nothing in the debug log. The debugging begins. So this game I'm making is made using what's called the OLC Pixel Game Engine. And the OLC Pixel Game Engine is great because it's literally a single file that you copy paste into your project, and then from there you just draw stuff on the screen. Like, as the name implies, it's a pixel game engine, so the idea is you draw pixels, you just plot where you want pixels to go, and you have a couple like basic drawing routines. There's this online hosted version of the Pixel Game Engine where you can write stuff and run things. And this is just what I last had in it, and it's just, yeah, it's very easy to write stuff in. So if I were going to teach somebody C++, I would probably use this engine because it's very easy for you to be like, oh, I just want to write like words on the screen, or I want to draw like circles on the screen. Like, you get all that with the Pixel game engine. Now obviously there's all the actual C++ parts, of course, but yeah, it's a very nice engine to like provide a way to let people put stuff on the screen, because the easiest way to learn how to code is to have something that you can quickly change and adjust and try things out. Just like throw things at the wall, see what sticks. And when you find stuff you like, then you can go from there and build off of that and learn. That's like the natural process of learning. And if you're just sitting here writing like C++ code and it's just like, oh, I'm just writing like if statements, or I'm calculating, like I'm doing like string manipulation, or finding out or writing the digits of pi or something, it's like it's kind of boring. If I'm being for real. Yes, you want to see your code do stuff, you want to interact with it, you want to have fun with it. That's the whole point of coding. It's supposed to be fun, it's creative. So to not have that makes the teaching of it very difficult, because the student then doesn't want to learn because they're not interested. Also, something went wrong here, so we're debugging this now. Time to find out what. I'm sorry you had a poor experience with programming. Let me just confirm it's this line. Yes, this line does cause the exception, so now we gotta go in and find out why. So I've never actually tried... I just assumed calling initialize player was going to work out, but I don't think it does. I'm convinced there is more setup stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't get to do now. Wait, what's going on here? What? Oh, are we... That's not good. The reason why I say that's not good is I think we have corrupted our... what do you call it? I think we have corrupted our stack. That's a fancy way of saying that things are now broken. So I don't think this is the proper way to do this. If we want to reset the player, I think we just call, like... We do have a reset game function. I think that would work better, actually. It's meant to reset the game without actually closing down the game or the program. So let's see here. What do? We change the game state. That's not good because we have to set the game state to run game by default. So that's probably not what we want. Player stats reset, player initialize down here. Oh, we just call player initialize. Not initialize player. Wait, these are two different things. This is what I wanted. I wanted something that set all the stats and reset everything in this manner. You know what though? It doesn't look like I reset abilities in the way I thought I did. Let me see. Do I reset the class? The class resetting is important. No, you know what? I know how I do this. We call change player class when we start it. That's how we reset the cooldowns, because that resets all the... Okay, so I think in a sort of funny twist of events, the way to reset the player is to change the player class. Let's see. Change player class. I remember this. Yes, because it changes all the abilities. There we go. Player reset. That's what we're looking for. Good. Okay, I like this. This is the actual player reset. So maybe instead of calling this change player class, I should call this reset player and change class, because that's a lot more accurate. Reset and change player class. Reset player and change class. It's very common to refactor names so that you understand clearly what your code is doing. This is one such example. It didn't quite explain what it was doing before. So many lines? Oh yeah, this project has exceeded 100,000 lines of code written by me. There's also a couple 100,000 lines of code of library code not written by me, but it's a very, very large game for a single developer, so... And it's kind of expected. It's been 3 years in development. I wanted to finish it last year, but unfortunately last year I didn't get to code much, so hopefully that changes this year. I'm a little more motivated to do this game now that I saw my game running on a Steam Deck. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually want to finish this game now. It's kind of awesome to just see your game being played on a little console. Yeah, because I have the demo out, so I was like, I figured I would test it on the Steam Deck. I wrote code to in theory, let it run on it to make it compatible, but it was only a theory. I didn't know if it actually worked, and it worked. It works great. So I'm glad. I'm glad all the time spent making it theoretically compatible actually made it work. So that's awesome. The Pixel game engine, I know, I'm a shill for it, also supports macOS, Linux, and mobile ports as well, and web. Like, there is a web build, so you can literally open up a browser and just play the game as well. It's like, it's highly compatible with a lot of platforms, making it easily accessible and portable. We love to see it when it just works, right? I was like half expecting like, oh, the performance might be shaky, maybe there's like a certain file it can't read, or it just outright doesn't work, right? So many things where you're just like, I don't know. So this, I think, is called initialize player. No. We're doing change player class. Reset player and change class. So I refactored the name of this function, but everything else stays the same. We're resetting to the warrior class. Still, I don't want to change the actual class, so we'll use the default. You just got pinged for 2 LTECs. Ooh. Are you just in search of, like, pads? Wait, what do you have right now? Do you have an LTEC? Okay, yeah, I was about to say, like, to put up scores like that, I expect you would have an LTEC at least. What's wrong with 2 more? I mean, if you can get a great deal on them, then heck yeah, go for it. $300. That's actually really good. They're not, like, bad condition or anything, right? Sweet. That's honestly awesome. I like that. Yeah. Alright, so in theory, this will reset the cooldowns without breaking everything. One thing I have to do, though, is I have to undo all the deletions I made. So I'm gonna do that real quick. So undo that. Actually, there's a faster way to do this. I'm gonna go in here. Boop, boop, boop. Undo all changes here, because I think nothing has changed other than me deleting that one line for all these files. Looks like it. So I'm gonna undo all the changes in these particular files. Not player tests, because we're actively working on it and making changes there. Okay, so that should have taken care of that. Everything else should be okay. Why'd save file change? Oh, okay, the refactors for where reset player and change class is called. That's perfectly okay. Alright, let's run this and hope it works. Hope. I don't like this though. I'm just gonna keep it popped up. I could have it docked too. Tempting. I might have to do a full rebuild because I changed a major file. Anyway, the goal today is to finish I have to write 4 more unit tests, and then I have to work on more of the Skeleton Barbarians monster behavior code. There's quite a few things to do. It'll move towards the player when it's within 400 range. It will use a whirlwind attack very similar to the Pirate Marauder from chapter 3 with a 10-second cooldown on the ability. Otherwise, it follows the Dagger Goblin's behavior, which the Skeleton Warrior also did. So really, there's not much we have to change about that. We can run the AI of a previous AI inside of an AI, so it's like kinda... it's built to be flexible like that. We don't have to rewrite code that we already written. We can just call it again. So if I went into the Skeleton Warrior... Actually, the Skeleton Warrior behavior is identical to Dagger Goblin, so I literally just copy-pasted that. But for the Skeleton Barbarian, we're gonna have to call it inside its behavior because it actually does have special behavior. So, for example, in here, we would very likely just do something like this. Run strategy? Wait, that's not right. Let me pull up another monster. Oh, you just literally type in the name. Okay, so we just type in Dagger, Goblin, it should be. Hopefully. Goblin underscore Dagger. Okay, yeah, that's what it's called. So we just literally call it, and everything else will be the same. Goblin underscore Dagger. Do I have to import? I probably have to import, the monster strategies, because it probably just doesn't know what it's called. It's like IntelliSense gave up. IntelliSense, please. This comes from the monster header, so it should already be known. Also, I found out I can do this. It looks really stupid, but it saves me having to press spacebar, which I like. So you might start seeing me exclude the spaces on these, which is absolutely hilarious. I did that completely by accident one time. But yeah, IntelliSense doesn't want to catch up. It looks like... oh, now it does. And then I just type in Goblin Dagger for the name of the strategy, I think. So we have exception code again, for some reason. Time to find out why. Oh, we're not even compiling. Hold on. We're not? Did I... God. Okay. Apparently when I refactored, this was not included. Oh, probably because I just hit what do you call it? I undid the changes, which included that line. Oops. But you can see I actually did that here. Oh, I see why we might be corrupted. The player pointer changed. So this player pointer might not point to the player referenced here. So that's probably why the stack is broken now. Oops. Okay. This makes more sense. So before I do this... yeah, so I've actually found this out the hard way before. What I really should do then is build a one-liner that says reset player. And honestly, it's going to be the same arguments as this, same name as this, just as these two, because for unit testing, we have to also change that local pointer. So in here, make a new inline void function called reset player and change player class. It's going to accept a class enum. You can't call a variable lowercase C class because that is a reserved keyword, and we're gonna assign the player pointer. Is this not in... it is in game. Okay, we need the instance of the test if we want to change that player, or we supply the player pointer and modify it in there. I like the idea of supplying the player pointer, so we will do that, and it will be modified directly. So supply player pointer. The value it points to will change. Where does this come from? This comes from game, so we also need the game itself, which... fair. But then we can get the player as well, so we're just gonna supply the unique pointer here. In this case, a weak pointer. Or no, not a weak pointer, a regular pointer? Yeah, just a regular pointer. We don't need it to do anything fancy. I will make it const, though. That way we know we're not touching it. And set game get player. No, but we have to modify the player variable still. This doesn't change the fact that this local variable has to be modified. That's annoying. But we need game. We know that much, so... and that pointer will be modified. Okay, so that makes PL equal to game get player. So we should be good there. Hi there, Alteria. Welcome. Altiera. Welcome. I do. You like it? 2022. Yeah, it has been a minute. Alright, so this is not good. Oh, I have to call this one. Also, this is const. Okay, so can do that. No, this one. Because we're not touching the pointer, we're just touching non-const functions inside of the pointer. You also discovered you're an egg? Oh, that's exciting. Aw, that's cute. Okay, we just need the pointer to this. Pointer, dereference. That doesn't work. I think it's just .get. There you go. Get. Hi there, Alexander. Welcome. Welcome to the stream where we break everything again. But that's every coding stream, right? Every coding stream you break things. It's not coding if we're not breaking things, right? Alright, I hope that fixes things because the pointer is now pointing to the right thing. No, it apparently breaks still. Uh-oh. Oh no. Well, I'm a little confused because that really should have fixed it, if I'm being for real. Like, this also shouldn't be required anymore. So what I'm curious about, does this test break? This is, can you move? This is enchant test check. So I want to try that one real quick. Under item tests, enchant test check. I'm just gonna run it. If it breaks, it means we've messed up the pointer, like we've corrupted it. Okay, so this test no longer works. So we have successfully broken it. Woo! Alright. Hooray! Oh, I know why. I'm dumb. I didn't call this one. But if I call this one, I hope it actually does what it's supposed to do. So we supply the player pointer and the game pointer. Everything else should fall into place. I could have sworn using this supplies the original pointer. Am I wrong? Okay. No, it's just the reference. It's a pointer to the unique pointer itself. And then this is actually the instance, which, yeah. So then, oh, because then you would just do the, yeah, you use this syntax if you want to do that. How silly. I do like this syntax more though. I'll be for real. I just didn't want to put .get. I'm like, that looks wrong. It looks wrong in the sense of I don't usually do that. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. We're just doing unit tests right now, so I can actually compile the game and show you if you want. This still okay. Still broken, unfortunately. Alright. The choir demands a game. A game shall be delivered. I have to build it. Actually, I could probably just run the previous build. Rebuilding doesn't honestly do anything right now. Oh, I do have to run it in the right folder though, so... Unless I specify the working directory, running it from here is more convenient. But yes, if I want to, I can move all this out of there. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I have too many files, my game takes forever to build. I'm not working for the military anymore. That is all I will say about that. Okay, so game's built. I'm gonna grab a controller. I just like playing my game on a controller. I do wonder if this thing still connects wirelessly if I just switch to the Windows mode. Let me see. It might still do it. Oh, wait, let me see. Let me see if it still does it. I think it still does it. Hold on. Are we working? Oh, maybe I should switch the screen. We're working. Okay, cool. I can turn things up a little bit. Let me use a not broken file. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, nice little overworld here. You can bring a couple items. Apparently I have boar meat. That's fine. Let me bring these guys. Okay. But yeah, basically, I use the Steam API for controller compatibility, and that's what I was most worried about when I was first building up the game, because I'm like, okay, in order for it to work on a Steam Deck, you have to supply a whole bunch of, what do you call it? You have to supply a whole bunch of, like, custom key mappings, and so you essentially supply actions, and then you map those actions to certain keys, and it's like, okay, but what if you use a different controller, right? And it's like, well, if you use a different controller, then obviously you're not going to have those same controls mapped to another controller, so it's like, it got confusing, and the Steam API kind of provides a way to solve that. So yeah, it's great. And also right now, since it is connected to Steam, it's saying I'm currently a level 5 wizard exploring stage 2-6, so it's connected in that sense as well. So that's nice. And also it gives me the ability to ask it for like specific controller images. So see, I switched to mouse and keyboard, so it's like, okay, display those. But when I'm using my Switch controller, it's like, where did I get this image from? It's from the Steam API. Like, Steam will download a whole bunch of controller images, and you just supply the right ones based on what controller you're using. So that's awesome. Also, I think I'm just gonna place this right here. Oh, or they can do that, because they're mean. Oh. Silly birdies. You get a nice little mountain view up here. It's a cute little game. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, it's been about almost 3 years in the making. On and off, of course. It's a very long project and it's just in my own personal time, but it's a lot of fun to make these games. Ooh, I should have dodged. It's very squishy. But yeah, here's the character menu. You got equipment. The skills tab is new, so I actually don't have a way to navigate to it yet. I should probably write that down. There's no way to navigate to it on controller yet, which is funny actually. Oh, I'm actually using wait, I'm actually using a worse equipment. That's weird. Maybe on purpose, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, what goes into the 3 years is all the, obviously the UI, the items, the systems, all these like settings menus, the integration, obviously all the maps, the story writing. There's so much involved with the game. You don't really realize until you start building out the entire game and you're like, there's so many systems to make. You can buy, sell, like, it quickly turns, it makes you realize like how much you take for granted when you look at a game and you're like, oh, there's all these systems and they're really cool, and then you're like, oh, crud, I have to actually build all these systems. So like, here's the crafting system, there's items where we're missing materials so we can't make them, and there's ones where we can upgrade our items so we can make this level 1, which increases the stats on it. There's all these data files for every single item, like, it's a lot. We got test dummies right here, so you can just play around. That's fun. We got this guy. He lets us craft some other items, and there's some mystery items. And this guy does equipment disassembly, so you can disassemble... That's not right. I think this is supposed to show the fragment icon, not a ring, because it's supposed to show what it turns into. That's weird that it doesn't do that. Let me see. Disassemble. Yeah, that's not right. But we should have gotten... It's probably under materials. Yeah, it is. This is what the icon it's supposed to show. Big rock. Big rock. This is you, Plasticky. That's you. Alright. Here's where you can refine gear. So basically, the stats that are flashing are already maxed out. And you get to randomly enhance all the other pieces of gear to hopefully get you your rings to the maximum stats it can be. So, for example, that bear ring fragment I get to use because I broke down other rings, which lets me enhance the health, so it went up by 2. And it can still go higher. So, there's an enhancing system. There's also question marks there. I don't remember what the last one was. I guess I could check. I think this opens up when you beat the boss. Maybe that's incentive to go beat the boss. Now this has just turned into a play my game stream. Alright, gamer mode time. God. Not get beat up by birds, please. Oh. Okay. Right there. This time I did it right. Ow. Rude. Yeah, it's a cute little game. I really love it. And to play it on Steam Deck was really amazing. It's just like, it works so well for the Steam Deck. It's... honestly, I'm really happy about it. This way? Honestly, they can't get me as long as I keep running. Which was actually something we were talking about, was like, can we really do anything about player just like running to the end of a stage? And not really, but there will always be like threats in the way that kind of try and stop you, so if you bring all the enemies to the end of a level, then you're pretty much expected to defeat them all, and you have a giant glob of enemies, so that whether that's ideal is a whole question in and of itself. Like, fighting a mess like this is very visually very confusing, but you can do it, I guess. There's nothing really stopping you. Ow. I need to find out what the... Oh, there we go. I'm like, which key is the... whatever that button is. Yeah, it looks so weird when they teleport like that. Alright, I assume the exit's down here. Also, technically, if you run far enough away, the monsters will, they won't despawn, but they'll deactivate. As in, they won't run their AI anymore, but you have to go really far away for that. So, like, we can still see these guys pursuing. They really don't ever stop. There. And you can never exit a stage until you've actually been out of combat for a couple seconds, so... This time I used my consumables so I didn't die. And yeah, if you clear a stage, you get bonus loot as well, so... That's nice. We also leveled up! Somehow... Hopefully that's not a bug, but it says we have exactly 0 XP. But see, I see the bar filled, so I'm convinced we don't have exactly 0 XP. So I want to take a quick peek at my save file, funny enough. I want to see what it says my actual XP is, because I'm curious. I feel like that's a bug. Like, when we level up, obviously the meter will keep rising with whatever carryover experience there is, but it seems like the UI is not updating that value anymore for whatever reason. So I forgot which save file we did. I think it was like save 5 or something, but let's look at the metadata. They'll tell us. Okay, save 4. So we can look at this save file in depth. It uses the OLC data file format, which is a custom format created by the developer of the OLC Pixel game engine. So, funny enough, it's kind of similar to other data formats, saving, or just data formats, but in our case, we use it. So, is base stats, there's our XP. So it actually says we have 0 XP right now. Like, so maybe it's just graphically the bar at 0 shows a blip. Maybe that's a bug with the carryover, like, graphical display. Like, I wonder, can we... I want to look at the stream footage real quick, because I want to see how much XP I gained versus how much I needed, right? Like, there's potential for this to be a bug. So I want to make sure it's not a bug, because as a developer, I'm always concerned about bugs in my game, right? Naturally. So I'm going to rewatch the VOD real quick, because I'm curious what happened after we leveled up. So I'm watching me now. Streamception. Okay, back up low. So we gained 751 XP. Oh, I'm gonna have to freeze frame this. Is it just like, it immediately starts moving, just like that. But we did view the character screen before, right? So we can go look at that, actually. Also, it says I'm level 6, but I'm level 7, aren't I? Ooh, something's not working here. I don't like this because that's not good, but also, yeah, something's not working. We've definitely found a bug. So I looked at the character screen before I started this stage, so we're gonna back up. Because we didn't gain any experience before entering the stage. So this is what our stats looked like before we went into that stage. If we gained 751 experience, is that exact? How's that even possible? How did we gain exactly the right amount? Holy, we gained the right... Is this an edge case then? An edge case where we leveled up with the exact amount of XP? I don't think this has ever happened before. So when you level up with the exact amount of XP, you don't gain a level, and your bar resets. And it graphically shows a blip on the XP meter. Okay, we found a new edge case. Welcome to programming. Alright, but this is good information to have. What I'm going to do now is... I'm going to clip my findings and stuff. So... when you're doing bug reports, it's always good to have your evidence, right? So here's an upload of what stats looked like before I started playing. And we'll get the end screen looking like this. And that will suffice to let me remember what we're doing in case we forget. Alright, so this bug, leveling up with exact XP required does not increase player level and produces a graphical XP bar bug. And let's be more specific. And slightly fills XP bar, even at 0 XP. Because I looked at the save file, our save file says we're level 6 right now. We should have leveled up. Now, I bet you if I quit the game and load back in, the XP bar will be fixed, because it's going to, like, reset other things. So I assume that part worked. Oh. Maybe 0 always displays like this. Let me try another character. Like a brand new character that we haven't done anything in. Maybe it's always been like this. In that case, do I want to fix that? Yeah, it's always like this. So, I kind of want to make it, if we have 0 XP, this shouldn't show up. So that's like a separate bug, probably. So I'm just going to say this bug is leveling up with exact XP, does not increase the player level. This is a very exceptional edge case, but it is a major bug. Alright. Oh, I should have wrote something in the... For leveling up... Level 6... Needing 751 XP to level to next level. Or excuse me, before clearing stage. And then this is after clearing stage. Level 6. Still level 6. But with 0 XP. Interesting bug. Probably hasn't been found because it's very hard to get the exact amount of XP required for a level. You know what's interesting though? The total XP required went up. So we're level 6, but now we require even more experience to level up to the next level. And then I bet you when we level up again, then we'll still require the 6,200 because it expects that we went up a level, but we didn't. So I want to test that real quick. If we level up again now, we should become a level 7 wizard with 6,207 required. That's my understanding. So let's modify the save file. I'm just gonna put... Oh, wait. But the save file stores total XP, like that we've earned. That's weird. But nowhere does it store the 6,207. So how does it know we need even more XP to level up? Is it because we're at exactly 0? Like, let me try this, right? Technically, we're level 7. It's just the number didn't increment. Did our stats increment? I want to say our stats still increment. So is it just a visual bug? I guess that makes it not as bad. Because I was thinking about it, I'm like, if we leveled up, we should have still gotten the stats. Unfortunately, we don't save the status of our save files at any given point in time. So I think we're in a... So I think this is what happened. The level number says 6, but we have the stats of a level 7 wizard. we need the XP required to reach level 8, but we're level 6. That's my theory right now. Alright, so we need 6,207 XP. Let's just try this. Very interesting. Alright, so now we're almost about to level up. We go kill one thing, we'll level up. I think it will just give us level 7, but we'll have the stats of a level 8 wizard, because we are actually level 8. Controller, please, it turned off. Okay, we're back. Let me kill one enemy. 2 enemies. Then we'll leave the area. We level up. It says we're level 7. We gain 5 HP and 4 attack per level. So let's save. So we're technically now a level 8 wizard with visually at level 7 stats. Let's see. So let's work down. What's a wizard's base attack? Okay, wizard's base attack is 15 and base health is 80. As we saw, health growth rate is 5 and attack growth rate is 4. So if we calculate 6 levels up, 6 levels up means we gain 24 more attack. 24 plus 15 is 39. It's the OLC data file format. It's Javid X9's own version of essentially a data file format. So we see here the attack is now 39, but we're a level 7 wizard, which currently 6 level ups puts us at level 7, but we had 35 before, so it didn't increase our stats. It didn't increase the level. So the only thing it does is reset the XP. That's good to know. So we're gonna write that down in the issue as well. Additional, let's double check the health too. It's possible maybe only the health went up and not the attack. If we were level 6, or level 7, excuse me, the health should have went up by 35, the base health, which means we should have a base health of 110. Base health is 110. So this is what it looked like before we leveled up, so to speak. This is what it looked like after we leveled up to level 7. So this is the stats of a level 7 wizard who missed an XP level up, who's technically supposed to be level 8 right now. So that means the health and attack didn't go up with this bug either. So I'm gonna put that as well. Additionally, even though the game... So visually, it says level up. HP plus 5, attack plus 4. But it didn't do shit. Java did make that, yes. It's a very handy little format. I love using it. I guess the biggest sell on it is that it's very human readable, it's very human editable, supports comments, it looks nice. And it supports many different types of formats. So, I really like that, for that. Even though the game displays attack plus 5 or 4 and HP plus 5, neither stats went up. This means all that happened was the experience points, or the XP, was set to 0. And the required XP went up. Which is also interesting because... So we leveled up, right? Now we're a level 7 wizard requiring 8,456 XP. Wait a second. Wait, is this a bug? Were we a level 5 wizard before? Am I dumb? We were a level 5 wizard before, so this worked, right? What am I saying? Maybe I am dumb. Oh my god. I thought we were level 6. I looked at the load file thing and I'm like, we're level 6. But we're not level 6, but we were level 5. Wait, this screenshot literally shows that's fine, right? We went up to level 6. Yeah, this is fine. Oh my god. Yes, I pulled a derp. Okay, never mind. Close this issue. We're done. Get out of here. This is actually a non-issue. No, this becomes a won't fix. actually a non-issue. Actually, a non-issue working as intended. I'm sorry. You all got to see me be stupid on stream! Woo! I just wrote all this for nothing! Hi, Plasticky! What are we doing? It's more like, what are we not doing? I just wrote this entire bug report and then realized I was stupid. It's actually working as intended. I thought for some reason we didn't level up when we leveled up, but look, the screenshot literally shows us going from level 5 to level 6. Everything's working as intended. And I said it wasn't. I was convinced it was a bug. Too much glitter. No! There's no glitter on the brain. Shut up! You're silly. I'm silly. I'm the silly one. Alright. I still kind of want to see how much time we got. Okay. We're gonna go beat the boss. I think the boss unlocks the other feature. I'm pretty sure the boss unlocks the other feature. Like, I'm like 70% sure. At least I want to say it does. I don't know if it does, but I want to say it does. Splat. But yeah. Life of a developer, always out looking for bugs, and finding bugs that are not actually bugs. Ooh. This is fun though. I really do enjoy what I made. Legitimately. Genuinely enjoy what I made. Poor wizard can't fight. I'm gonna take a hit. Squish that guy. Damn, he doesn't die? God, he has so much health. Almost 3 years. Hi there, Code Livian, welcome. The choir has asked me to play my game, or show my game, so I am playing my game now. For a little bit, for a quick minute. Thank you. I'm glad it looks like I spent time working on the game. I guess that's my thing, right? It's like, I hope that it's pretty clear that a lot of time and effort went into the game. And it's still being worked on, of course. It's mostly just making the rest of the content for the game. There's 2 more chapters to do, and we're slowly working on all the features required for the rest of the chapters. Oh. They're just gonna stay there, so I'm squishing them. But yes, welcome to the stream. I see the exit. I am running to the exit. I just got hit 3 times. You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. Everybody else will just be like, oh, you need to add this feature. Why can't you do that? Isn't it so easy? You just literally change some lines of code. Like, yeah, sure. I wish it was that easy. God. Okay. Anyways, I want to see if beating this boss unlocks the other feature of the Artificer. I'm pretty sure it does, but I don't remember. Yeah, devs are lazy. I mean, let's be real. Developers are lazy. That's why we code, right? To make computers do stuff for us. Can you add more bunnies? We should add bunnies to the game. I agree with this. I like bunnies. We can have bunnies. No. Hello. Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on up here. Alright. I like that these bomb guys just stand there watching their death, waiting for a meteor to plummet to their heads. That's a lot of people. I'm running. Also, yesterday when I was testing out the hasten buff on monsters, I realized it might be a good, like, random variant, like a mutation to put on enemies every once in a while, and just give them, like, the hasten buff. Because basically, I gave them 200% like action speed, or excuse me, 100% action speed, which means they did everything twice as fast, like their entire AI cycles, which was actually very amusing. I'm gonna die. Don't die. These guys are so tanky. Get a nice view over here. I think that's my favorite part about the second chapter of stages is you get it's all on this mountain and we made it look all nice. Because we were looking at like how other like action RPG, well just RPG games in general did mountainscapes, and it's like you can really sell the illusion of a mountain if you can actually see past the ground or past the sky, like see stuff in the distance. So I thought that was really neat. Oh, we have to go back in. This is the longest stage because it's right before a boss. God. Still can't believe that thing doesn't die. Round and round and round. There's a boss racing track from Diddy Kong Racing where you go around a mountain too. I always thought that was a really cool stage. Woo. Stop dodging! So one thing I don't like about Wizard is the speed of the bullets is actually pretty slow, and the monsters start getting more agile so they can actually avoid your attacks half the time. Okay, now we're in this main area where there's probably a bunch of mobs. Whee! Yeah, let's do that. I don't think the pillars actually hurt you. I think they're just an annoyance. Take me to the boss. Yeah. Alright. Now, we're gonna see if this unlocks the next story section. If I can beat the boss, which I'm sure I can beat the boss. I don't think he's gonna cause problems. I hope he doesn't cause problems. Unless I, like, forget how this works. Which I don't think I forgot. And I think for the most part, oh yeah, there's this. The pillars do crack and then eventually break, so... I just have to keep whacking at him for a little while. Oh, you know what? I don't think... If I remember correctly, I think you're supposed to have... I think more pillars spawn so that there's always at least one pillar to avoid that attack. And I think I remember you have to keep at least one pillar alive, because this rock attack will break nearby pillars, just like that. So I think if you mess up, or you stand in the wrong spot, you break your safe pillar, and then your only hope of avoiding damage is to iframe through it. I think that's how that works. Oh, ow, ow. So yeah, now there's no pillars, so I think he's gonna spawn one. At least he should spawn one. I hope there it is. Spawns more. But I think some break. Like some automatically break. And then there's one left. And I just keep that one alive to hide behind. And we should be good. Oh, there's another pillar now. Oh wait, that one's gonna break, isn't it? That was weird. It ended up saving me. It was still alive when it broke, so I don't know how that interaction would have went. But it worked. It worked out. Okay. Hopefully it dies soon. Think I do decent damage. Wizard does do pretty good damage, so should die soon. I live. I don't think it's a one-shot. I think it really hurts, though. Should probably heal. Okay. I remember spending quite a bit of time figuring out that, like, line of sight thing. Safe zone line of sight drawing thing. It was kind of a fun programming challenge. Mostly just involving maths. It was fun though. Tinky boy. Just a battle of attrition at this point. Give me time for a meteor? Yeah. Big hit. Okay. Keep forgetting the pillar will break too. Here we go. The pillars can still kill you. But yeah, GG. Why is the hitbox like... See that? Why is the hitbox like this? That doesn't seem right. That seems wrong. I probably have to look at that later. That doesn't... I don't know. Questions for later. I got max health % roll on that. Okay, so I believe if I don't even think the story section is implemented. I think it'll just, yeah. Just as high, because the story scene doesn't have anything yet. But I think... Oh, I probably could have done that, huh? I think it unlocks the other artificer... No, it doesn't. What is this? You know what? I think this is, an artifact thing. I think it's for later. I just wanted to see. But also I wanted to try playing my game a little, because that's fun. 139 health. This puts us at 152. It's a very tanky ring, and gives us defense. That's nice. So yeah, one of the main game loops is that if you want to spend your time upgrading all your stuff to max, then you would go through and, oh, Chapter 3 does unlock new gear, of course. So you can, as you work through Chapter 3, you get to farm for materials for that equipment too. But part of the game loop is if you're going through and you're going to upgrade stuff, you have to say, okay, I need like worm skins for this upgrade, or I just need money in general, so I need to farm mats. Or you need to farm bosses if you want to upgrade your rings. Like, there's quite a few upgrade systems in here that will add a little bit to the game loop, which is nice. Gives you a couple of things to work for. Or you can do what I did when I was testing and jump right into Chapter 2 with no gear, and then you're in extreme hard mode. If you don't upgrade your stuff, you're basically playing on a harder mode. And that's pretty much how it works in RPGs, right? You upgrade your gear and then the game becomes easier and you can progress. Based on your skill level. Because the game... What is... There were a bunch of error messages. part of like an RPG game is that you basically, if you can't beat the game at the current time you're at, whether it's a skill issue or whether it's just a number check, then you have to upgrade your stuff until you beat that number check or that skill check. The skill level of the player determines how much extra stats they need. All right, back to actual coding, right? So I did break this, maybe on purpose, but maybe it reveals in detail, in more depth, what is going on with this. So this right here is a player pointer being passed in. Now, my assumption was that changing this variable would change this variable, but maybe that's not actually the case. So we're gonna debug this and see what it actually does. According to this behavior, the stack breaks. Like, every variable is now messed up. Every pointer is messed up because for some reason this becomes corrupted. So we're gonna see here, we're gonna keep a careful eye on, here's the current pointer. We're only interested in the address of the pointer. So we're gonna do this function. And when we do this function, the line we're interested in is down here, player.reset, where player is a unique pointer. So this is what the player is currently being pointed as. There's that address. Well, that's the unique pointer's address. I think the pointer's address... No, that's right, that's right. Anyway, when we call reset, oh, we're a wizard. Wait, are we a wizard? Oh yeah, for this call, we are a wizard. Anyway, it's gonna change what it points to, because it's a brand new instance. So we can see now the pointer is pointing to something else. We continue to set stuff. We can exit out this function. We know it works. So we're here, and so now this pointer is currently the same. You can see it's pointing to garbage data. And this is what we're curious about next, because getPlayer should now return the new player for us. And that should set PL. So PL is now pointing to a new player instance, which actually has valid data. So let's see if this address sticks or not. So we're going to exit now out of this function. What is player now? You can see players still point to garbage data. So that's where our exception comes in. Because if you have a pointer point to garbage data, eventually that pointer, you're going to use it. It's going to point to something in memory that is not a function, not a variable, just something unexpected, right? It's all garbage now. So the results are undefined, and your program eventually just crashes because you can see none of this makes any logical sense. It's all just rubbish data. So that's why it currently breaks. Now, as for what I intended to do and what I need to fix, so I think this is a C++. No, I think also this applies to C, but I'm just not using this right. Our intention was to change this pointer directly. So to do that, I think we need a pointer reference. I think. Something like this. I think if you do this, the pointer, because everything after this is referring to the pointer itself. Like, for example, if I had a const here, the const would be applying, gosh dang it, to the variable. Like, this variable now cannot be modified because we made a const. And same with adding this ampersand here. I think this makes it so now the variable is a reference. And so if we modify what it's pointing to, but it's a reference, now we're changing what we brought in from out here. That's the theory. It's kind of a weird syntax. I think it's very obscure. You usually don't use raw pointer. Like, you don't usually modify the raw pointer when you pass it to some variable, hold on, do we not rebuild? Should have rebuilt. I think I just hit rerun without rebuilding. Oh no, I typed something and deleted it. That's what I was complaining about. Anyway, we usually don't modify a pointer inside the function. Hold on. It's still complaining I didn't rebuild. Rebuild, please. Oh, wait. We have to switch to the unit testing project. I'm on the wrong project. There we go. So switch to unit testing build and debug. Yeah, so normally if I really want to do this proper, right, I would probably make this function return the pointer and just set it equal to it outside of here, but this was my intention. So I think this is a good time to learn. When I'm programming, I'm always open to trying new and obscure ways to write code just to learn, right? It never hurts to learn. I think learning is very important on your programming journey. Whether or not we always use this syntax is another question, right? It looks really weird. This is a very niche case. I probably won't do this again in the future. At least I hope I don't write code where I need to do this again. So yeah, but it's always good to learn. It's like when I was trying to write, I was trying to use the ranges library, which is pretty modern, C++. I learned a lot from that, and I actually found some things I really liked from that. So, alright, so in this same hand, we're gonna see if the pointer is now correct. Looks good to me. Looks like it worked. Yay. Yeah, that's the same, pointing to the correct instance. So this test should now successfully run, and hopefully passes. And it does. So now we can go back to the other test that was failing for the same reason, and try running that. Naribicud, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. And that test passed as well. Excellent. Good job. So we made a successful unit test that checks and makes sure that when we have the haste buff, it also makes the cooldown times be 30% faster. So that's good. So I'm going to commit all this now. We made a couple changes. Refactored change player class to reset player and change class, because that's actually what it's doing. Because I was trying to find a reset like player function and I couldn't find it. I'm like, how do we reset the player? But it was called change class, so it's like it's not clear that's actually resetting the player at the same time, even though it's kind of implied. So that's just a function rename so we understand it better. And then we implemented a haste cooldown check unit test. Unit test for the player. Implemented player haste cooldown unit test. And we are on release build 12281. Okay, so we'll commit all this. And now we're going to move on. We got 3 more tests to write, but these should go quicker because we've pretty much figured out the pitfalls that came with some other code, unrelated. So, and I'm also not playing my game now, so I'm actually focusing on the coding bit. So the other thing I want to check for the player is, let's see. So we have a move check, we have a cooldown check. What else did I want to check? I wanted to check what happens when the buff disappears. There should be no lingering side effects. I should probably just do that in the same check, right? Like, let's get rid of the buffs now, test the same thing, and make sure that we're now moving a normal speed again. We're not still hastened, because that should not happen. So we're going to call, do I have a remove buff for the same reason? No. So yeah, we want no side effects though. Player remove. Let's just remove all buffs. We know we only have the hasten buff applied. And then we're going to move the player again for half a second. We're still holding down the D key, so move us to the right. So we'll just get our position. I kind of want to use the same variable names. I don't do this often. It looks kind of weird. If I add these curly braces, I can name this variable original player pause, and it will be locally be different from this original player pause variable. Because I made a const, if I don't make a const, I can change it, but then this variable is being used for 2 different reasons, like for 2 different contexts. So I'd rather do this to make it clear this is a different context. And if I really want to, I can even go one step further and say, okay, put all this in here, because this would be one local context. Like, that's probably better, actually, if I keep those 2 separated, because I'm using the same variable names, which can be confusing, or I'm initializing a different variable, but with the same name, so it does look confusing. But we're going to run the same exact code. We got the original player position, and then, I don't know, we don't need to test this. The player has moved. Move distance after half a second should now be, once again, 50 units. I forgot to change this. 50 and 65 should say 50 units in half a second with no buffs. So we're going to make sure that still applies. And I'm going to write a similar check for the other unit test. So remove all buffs. We're going to reset. So we shouldn't reset the player because that might have a side effect of it. Like, if we reset the player, we remove all the buffs anyway, so that doesn't test what we need to test. So instead, we need to remove all buffs, wait another 5 seconds, and see if the cooldown time is now the cooldown time minus 11.5 seconds. That means only 5 seconds have been reduced on the cooldown timer again. And alternatively, we could just reset the cooldown time on the ability and reuse it. I kind of like that better, so because it's more clear what we're trying to do. So I'm going to grab ability 3 and just go ahead and set the cooldown to 0, which means it's ready to be used. 0 seconds. And then we will cast the ability again, wait 5 seconds. 5 seconds should have passed. Sonic Slash should have 5 seconds removed from its cooldown time with no buffs. So with those 2 unit tests written, I'm going to run them again. I should probably run every unit test at the end of this as well. Make sure I haven't broken anything else. So we'll run these 2 for now. And then if that is good, we get to move on to the monster unit tests. Same idea. We're going to move the monsters, and then we're going to see... Oh, we have to do attacking. That's right. We're going to test attack rate. Your attack rate should be buffed, so these 2 tests still pass. That's really good. That means when we remove haste, it once again operates at normal speed, which is expected. So player haste attack check. So for the attack check, we're going to have the player auto attack, and we're going to see... We're just going to see the cooldown of the attack go down. Like, after X amount of time, the attack should be reset, right? So we can grab dynamically the cooldown time of the auto attack, and I mean, it works the same as an ability, so if we assume that it works for abilities, then it should work the same for an auto attack. I guess we don't need to test it then, because the way I coded an auto attack is it works like an ability, so I think we're good. We are super good. We don't have to write a 3rd test. That's redundant. Unless we want to, for funsies. So, test method for monster now. We're doing a monster haste move check. Move test. I am out of water. Also, the music stopped. I don't know if it will repeat for one or all tracks. I guess I should test. Okay, it's on repeat for all, which is what I want. I hate when it's not clear whether it's gonna repeat everything I just selected or just the one track that is currently playing. A lot of programs include like that little icon to make it clear, but this doesn't. Yay, thank you, Windows Media Player Legacy. Is it Legacy because I'm playing a CD? Is that why it has to do that? I didn't even think about that. Is Windows Media Player like dead? Is it really retired? I didn't even know. Monster Haste Move Test. So, we have a monster. We're just gonna spawn... I don't think a parrot is a good candidate, but we could use the parrot. Like, we should use something that doesn't move. Honestly. If we use something that doesn't move, we can move it on our own. But wait, how do we move it on our own? We don't, right? We have to write an AI that literally walks to the right, like a test AI. Am I really gonna write a test AI? There's NPCs, but NPCs also don't move on their own. Like, that's interesting. Unless I write code to test movement, nothing's gonna move. Yeah, that's interesting, right? I don't... Okay, I have an idea. What if we give it a target spot to walk to? So, every monster has a target. And so if we set the target, I think it will just go to it on its own. I'm pretty sure that's how that works, but I need to double check. Because the strategy is called move towards? Run towards. I think it's just called run towards. There it is. Okay, run towards. So I can set a target and it'll just move. At least I'm pretty sure that's how that works. I guess we'll find out, right? I need something that will move though. Like, here's the thing, a lot of these monsters won't do it unless there's a player. Like, they specifically look for a player and then set their move towards target. So what I should do is make a monster that specifically just moves to the right or something, just for testing purposes. We don't have to make anything fancy, it's just a test monster. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Where's my monsters.txt? There it is. Okay. I feel like I have a test monster. I made it before I started making chapter 2. Oh, we have training dummies. Hold on. Okay. I like this. We're going to modify the training dummy AI. So there's a strategy called do nothing. but I'm going to hack it. Actually, we could even set the strategy on the fly, couldn't we? Set strategy. Oh, we can't. Oh, we can. If we set the strategy here... Wait, no, it's a private field, though. Are we a friend class? Are we allowed to do this? We are a friend class. We're allowed to modify. Okay, I can work with this. So I'm gonna make a parrot. Because I copy-pasted the code, it's just gonna be a parrot now. But it's going to use... I need to go under monster, and we're gonna make a new strategy, and we're calling it run right. And maybe I'll put an underscore in front of it so we know it's like a test. It's not really like gonna be used legitimately. I wonder if I could put underscores in front of file names. I don't know if I can. Run right. It's not complaining, so I guess we can. Let me grab the do nothing strategy. Wait, does do nothing just... It doesn't even... I think do nothing is hard-coded. I don't think there's a strategy called do nothing. Am I wrong? Let me see. Do nothing. Oh, there it is. It's called do underscore nothing. I don't see it. Is it out here? It is out here. It's just not sorted. There we go. Anyway, also, just as a quick thing while I'm here, might as well... Okay, run right. I think I have to modify my templates too, if I don't want to copy paste everything every time. I don't know where those are. I'm getting sidetracked. I'll worry about it later. But basically, whenever I create a new CPP or header file, I have these template versions of a header file or source file that puts the copyright statement at the top, and I have to adjust the copyright statements, so I will figure that out later, because they're just in like a folder. Visual Studio has a folder where they say, hey, this is where all your templates go. I just have to find that again. So this is run right, and in the run right strategy, you move to the right constantly. That's all you do. So I have this move forward function, which literally will cause the monster to move forward. So we can see here, yeah, it just moves the monster based on its move speed. It does all the speed calculations for us. Just a convenience function. And the vector we want to move towards is... I think this is supposed to be a polar vector. Oh no, it's just a directional vector. So we specify like 1, 0, and we will move to the right. Or in this case, I want to move... Let me see. Yeah, because it will be normalized. So I can put whatever I want here, but it'll get normalized. I kind of want to write in the comment that this needs to be a... That's not what I want. In a given vector direction, I want to put a cardinal vector direction. Wait, is that what it's called? Cartesian, not cardinal. A Cartesian vector direction. Because I get confused if it's supposed to be polar coordinates or if it's supposed to be Cartesian coordinates. Very different. So anyways, that's all run right does, in theory. Maybe we should write a unit test that tests if run right runs to the right. Because I don't know if it works, but the unit test will tell us if it works. Also, did I call it run space right? Or did I call it something else? Strategy? Run strategy. Oh, I didn't call it anything. Run right. Maybe I should call it something that I'm not going to accidentally type. Like, test run right. I like that better. That way it's very clear that this is like for testing, and it won't be used seriously. On top of all the other stuff I already wrote. Okay, so strategy gets set to that, and then we're going to update the game for... We have to do the same thing we did for player tests, in that we have to load a map where something can move around and have the ability to. So this test map, which we made the other night, literally is just flat ground. There's no obstacles, nothing. It's there so we can test movement without anything being in the way. Also, we have to force the parrot's position. We're gonna do a set pause, force set pause to 12:12. I want it to not be spawned at 0:0. I want it to be spawned... Oh, I guess I could have done that, huh? Yeah, spawn at 12:12. Because if I put it 0:0, it'll be centered right here, and it'll be stuck. Because it can't move in the corner. It has a hitbox, and part of the hitbox will be outside of the screen. So I don't need that code. We're going to load the right map. So that's what these two lines of code do. We're initializing the test map, we're going to let the game run for half a second, and we're going to see if the parrot's position is now... It should have moved 50 units, just like a player would, assuming... Actually, we need to find the move speed of the parrot, because that's going to change it. Alright, move speed of a parrot. Parrot's move speed is 180%, and that could technically change, so... Okay, here we go. Get move speed multiplier. I kind of wish I could just set it, or use something that moves at normal speed instead of a parrot. What about, like, training dummy? Does a training dummy have normal move speed? No, it has 0% move speed. It can't move. I guess that makes sense, but I was hoping it could be a normal move speed. It just doesn't have AI that moves. I don't know why I can't set it to 100%. I don't think it hurts to set it to 100%. Does anything move at normal speed? A pirate buccaneer does. So does a boar. Let's just use a boar. I think that's fine. Boar. Goodbye, parrot. Because we know boars run at 100%. Now, if that changes, then that's going to be a problem, right? So maybe we should incorporate this into our calculation. Just say, multiply by the movement speed multiplier of whatever 50 is. Done. For our assert. That would eliminate the problems. So let's go back to player test. We're gonna write an assert to check the position of the boar. So we're expecting the boar's position now to be... Now we can do an is true, I think. We're gonna say boar get pause. It is so warm in here. Hold on. It suddenly got really hot. So take the position of the boar and compare it to the original position. So we need to store that original position. Like to copy and paste. Original boar pause is like that. And we're comparing if original boar pause plus 50 multiplied by the move speed multiplier of the boar, because we expect 50 if it's at a 100% move speed after half a second, is equal to boar.getPause. What's wrong with this? Oh, 0, there should be no Y movement. So we're going to build this code to detect that test, and then we're going to try running that test. Big rebuild because we modified the strategy header, and then after this, I'm going to have to call it for today. I have other things to do. But like I said, I'm trying to incorporate at least a little bit of daily programming again, at least while I can, and working on this game. It's really fun. It's fun, programming's fun. It's fun hunting bugs, it's fun squashing them, figuring out what's going on, and improving the codebase slowly and slowly as we realize the faults in it, and continue to develop it. That's part of, programming. Software engineering. Trying to make a game. Making game is hard. But we're working on it. Okay, just compiling the unit tests now, and then we can run this test. I wonder if I should move my webcam to the other side, because this blocks. Like, should I move this? I think this makes more sense. Oh, I'm gonna try it this way instead. I'm over here now, chat. I think this way makes more sense, only because most of the stuff appears on the left-hand side over there. So, yeah. I wonder if I should flip. Hold on. I think that this would make more sense if I flip it. Because I will typically be looking... Like, I'm trying to think, right? As streamer, if I'm gonna be looking this way most of the time, right? I don't know. Maybe I'll just move the camera later. I think that's what I'll do. That makes more sense to me. I'll move the camera so that I can have this down here, and it will make sense. Right now I'm just looking the opposite way. Okay, so we're gonna run the monster tests. Monster run right test, and it should pass. There's no asserts in the other tests, so running is pointless right now. And then next time we're going to make, I guess I can move this back now. Watch 2 should be here. Okay, test explorer. So it says the player should have, wait, what? Not the player, but the assert failed. We don't know why, but let's get a V format in here. Is it utils? Hold on. I have a utils file. Oh, it's just util. Util, it should be V format. The reason why we need this is because it's gonna be a dynamically constructed string. So, for these scenarios where I want to output an is true or is false assert, I want to print both sides of the coin, right? So player should have moved. So it's not the player, it's the board should have moved. And we should have expected it to move a certain amount and have a second with the hasten buff. So then we say that is expected, this is equal to this. So then we can write all this stuff out. So we're saying that the board should have moved this many units. We're expecting these two statements to be equal to each other, and we want to print them out as strings. Apparently plus resolves before dot. Did anybody know that? I didn't know that. Operator precedence. Take a look. Plus is number 6. And dot... Wait. Dot resolves up here, so that doesn't work. That doesn't do what I expected. It's gonna add a string to a VF2D. I'm like, there's no way dot resolves first. I'm like, did you guys know that? Because that's wrong. Alright, anyway. Here we go. This is complaining. Why? Do I need W format? Let me see. Something's not right. String args. Oh, it's gonna convert it to a W string. I see. Convert to constant W char T. Okay, we just do a C string from here. I remember having to do this because the CPP unit tested framework specifically needs W strings. And so I made a util called W format to handle doing all that for us, so we can use format like normal without all the mess of conversions to W strings. Because that's all done inside here, because that's wonderful. Because 2W string is fun. I don't want to have to write that out every single time I want to make a string. Anyway, this will tell us what the values are. But yeah, next time I'll figure out how to do webcam on the left side now, where we can see everything. So expected 6212 is equal to 1212. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Oh, so it's saying the board hasn't moved. Wait, what? That means its strategy didn't work. Well, at least we know that the strategy isn't running. But as for why it's not running, we have to figure that out next time, because unfortunately I'm gonna have to go, chat. But I appreciate you all for being here today. It's been a lot of fun, good coding session. Making progress as usual, running into more bugs, finding more silly things to code, and of course, having a good old time. For those of you that tuned in, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Take care everyone, bye!